day out today, of course. I say that like it's always beautiful here, but it's beautiful quite often, but not all the time. Look at that, not a cloud in the sky. Another one of those days. I'm here at Starbucks again, and nobody's inside. There's nobody here. I'm starting to get the feeling that there are quite a few people here, mainly the government, but quite a few people here who are, I guess they're scared of what the government is doing. It's like they never learn. The government doesn't seem to learn. It's or either that or they don't care. Hey, Soy Dog Cowboy, how you doing? Good morning. I was just thinking about it today, and after yesterday when I went to that cafe, and I saw this, very nice cafe, Americana, quite a nice place. I went and got my booster yesterday, and I talked to the nurse there, one of the nurses she was a bit older. But I just remember seeing that sign, seeing the sign, and at this cafe, this what's it called, the Voodoo Cafe, which I'll be doing a video about that, and also a video about the booster and the place where I went. I didn't see another foreigner the whole time I was in Nongjo, which maybe that means it's a good place for us to move. I don't know. But in the hospital, no foreigners. But I saw this thing about positivity. Oh, you have to keep positive people around you. And I was just thinking about, and I've thought this before, but I just felt it really appropriate now with this new variant, and are we going to lock down? Are we going to open up again? Are we going to keep everything shut down? And if you're not a pig and you're wallowing in shit, it's hard to be happy. And so I was thinking about, how is it that you got to stay positive here? The thing is you have to really be strong. And really super positive, super motivated, and patient to be positive. You really have to be patient to remain positive. Because, I'm sure most people have their days, their better days, their worst days. I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, how the hell are we supposed to stay positive with this place is much better than many other places in the world, and still I'm like, how is, and I feel for some of these people. They haven't worked in a year. They're driving a taxi instead of being, working at their job, and they're hating life. And then I got the nurse telling me, yeah, the truth is most people are vaccinated now and people are not worrying so much. But we have to be careful for the old people and the people who have pre-existing conditions. Okay, I get that. Then why the hell are they going through with all this bullshit? I'm a little perturbed about it. I'm sick of it. I've been sick of it for a long time. Who hasn't been? And here I am. Granted, I'm in Bangkok. I'd rather be in the mountains somewhere, on a river or out by the beach. And that can be arranged. We've got a few things to take care of before that can happen. This is another thing, though. My kid is scheduled to go on a little trip here. He's scheduled to go on a trip to a couple different places for about 4 or 5 days. And, the thing is, he's going to different provinces. So when he's going to different provinces, there's always the chance that they are going to check him. And they're going to test him for, and he's going to be tested, I'm sure. And I'm like, so what happens if he's positive? You're going to put him in a hotel? They're going to put him in a hospital? They're going to make him self-isolate? Where's he going to self-isolate? He's going to have to come back home? That's not going to happen. And the same thing goes with me. Life is what you make it, but it's, and I tend to agree with that, However, I also agree with the fact that when the government, and I'm not talking about, this is not a normal thing, what's going on here, obviously. This is not something that happens all the time, and I understand that, but it's been going on for more than 2 years, a good 2 years, solid 2 years. When will they learn? Where is the reasonable thinking? If you go into a restaurant, now in Pattaya, they actually are saying, well, you need to be tested. Sure, even if you are fully vaccinated, you need to be tested before you can enter a restaurant. Now, I kind of doubt that's going to happen everywhere. I think people will be getting away with it without going in, without being tested. But I think in some places they've already started cracking down. When you tell a restaurant, oh, that's what you're going to have to do, or when you're allowed to go in a restaurant like in Bangkok, you just walk right in. You don't have to show them proof of being vaccinated. You don't have to get tested. I draw the line at being tested. What the hell is the point of being vaccinated if you got to be tested all the time? Now, yesterday I went in, I got my booster. Didn't want to get it. And immediately when I came home, one of my buddies is like, oh, it's okay, you're good for another 3 months. Tree Town, listen, Khao San Road, they shut Khao San Road down. Oh, you're going to have to clean the place. Clean the place? It's just stupid. This is why, like, I hate to say that. Yeah, well, I mean, what are you going to do? They don't leave you a lot of chances, or a lot of options, rather. Yeah, I could sit here and not get vaccinated, and then what's going to happen, and I've already been asked a couple of times to show my proof of vaccination. I was shocked when I went into Chiang Mai, and I went into the hotel, and they didn't ask me for proof of vaccination. Shocked. In Hua Hin, they did ask. And, it's like, oh, in another 3 months, you get your 4th booster. No, I'm not going to, sometimes you have to draw the line. And I just find it disturbing. I find it's getting more and more disturbing. And what I think is, the virus is starting to slowly fade away. The fatalities are dropping. The cases may be going up, but the number of fatalities are starting to drop. Overall, the percentage of people that die it's very, very slim, and the majority have pre-existing conditions, or they are just flat out old. And for this, they're going to shut down the whole world. There has to be a time when they say, okay, enough. I thought they'd already gotten there here in Thailand. Oh yeah, we're going to learn to live with it. They're not learning to live with it. They're completely, to me, most government officials are completely full of shit. What they don't want, hey Johnny, how you doing? What they don't want is blood on their hands. That's what they don't want. They would rather see shops shut down, people crying about being poor because the government's not letting them stay in business, they would rather that happen and nobody dies than have people. I don't see how it's going to happen. I mean, people who are old generally tend to die. You know, the thing is, everybody says, oh, well, when people stop and when people just say enough already, okay, how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? You know what kind of organization that takes? I'm not a part of any organization. I'm not a part of any gang. I'm not part of any group of people. In fact, I'm a very solitary individual. I like to hang out alone most of the time. And, hey, Johnny, thank you very much, man. Yeah, Happy New Year to you, too. I hope it's a much better year this year and much more relaxed, and we get back to where when we want to do something, it doesn't take, showing your vaccination, going a day in advance or 3 days in advance, and, to me, that's what bothers me the most. There are times I want to leave. I want to leave here. I want to go home. I want to see my parents. My wife has been saying, we really need to go back and see your folks. And, I'm like, yeah, I know. But, it's a pain in the ass to get in here. And half the trouble is there's so much uncertainty. I did talk to Chuck, as I was saying, I believe, yesterday. And I forget who just said it. I think cigars and whatever it is. Cigars and... Let me see if I can find out here. I got to remember. My memory is just completely terrible. Passports and cigars. Tomorrow is a big day here. Tomorrow they're making decisions. But if you listen to what Anutin has said, the health minister, if you listen to what he said, he's recommending things stay shut down. So, and what the hell does he know? You got a virologist who said, he just said, hey, the Omicron is not a very dangerous variant. We don't need to freak out. And yet, why can't the bars open up if they're... And, I'm not a big bar goer. It's not like I want to go to the bars and hang out. Oh, man, I'm pissed off. I'm not. I'm not pissed off about going to the bars at all. But what I am pissed off about is it's a business. It's a way... You know what? We all got to eat. We got families, we got all kinds of stuff that we need to take care of. And these bar owners, they're suffering, man. It's just not fair. It's not fair. And, nobody said life was fair, but when this is what I don't get. When I go into a restaurant and the restaurant is packed, and it doesn't look to me like the ventilation is worth a shit. And, nobody is putting gel in my hand. Nobody really gives a shit if I even check my temperature. I just walk in, sit down. There's 100 other people in the place. You're all sitting next to each other. You take your mask off. What's the difference between that and a bar? I'm really starting to question the motives behind all this. And, I'm very apprehensive about, believing some kind of conspiracy is going on. I'm always apprehensive about conspiracies because I kind of err on the side of, reality. Granted, there are conspiracies, but, in this case, I'm like, I just can't believe what, they're trying to shut everything down, all the bars in Bangkok. They don't want people drinking here in Thailand. Well, so what? I give in. What does it do? Just piss me off more? I don't want to be pissed off all the time. Let me go back inside here. Follow the money. That's always the case. Follow the dough. We got one other person in here. We got the 2 barista and we got one other customer. And that's it. This place is empty. Let's see here. Okay. Did you know that that was her? At least learn how to spell her name right. There's only one W, not 2. Jesus Christ. 4 people just came in. So much for my quiet Starbucks. Oh, that lookup is with, what's his name? Leonardo DiCaprio. You know, to me, it's like, the poor Chuck. I mean, I'm like, son of a bitch. The guy does everything he's supposed to do. And, you know, this is what really pisses me off, okay? What really grinds my gears. Happy New Year, Niall. How you doing? What really grinds my gears is that for some reason the government always waits until like a day or 2, maybe 3 days beforehand, to lay everything out on the table for the tourists who are coming here. Now, if I was a tourist, I'd be pissed. Chuck, for the most part, Chuck don't give a shit because he can just put his miles back into his account, and then, you know. But what about the people who they're out the money? Maybe they don't get a refund. They're out the hotel money. They don't get a refund. Or, okay, well, you're going to have to stay for 2 weeks in quarantine or whatever it is. I mean, if it's hard for somebody who lives here to keep up with everything, then what about the tourist, the average Joe tourist that doesn't come to Thailand all the time? He's just like, hey man, you know what, things are lightening up. Thailand's a good place to go. Let's go. No, Thailand is not a good place to go. Not right now. That's my take on it. I don't believe it's a fantastic. It's good if you're here. For me, it's fine. Now, I don't know that I'm ready to travel around. I don't know that I'm ready to leave the country and then have to come back in. I don't want to be traveling. At least for another week or 2. Because, guess what? Things are too out there. There's too much uncertainty. And what about a guy like Chuck who, he's supposed to come in on the 12th? And the passports and cigars, he's supposed to come in on the 11th. How fucked up is that? And for Chuck, what really is problematic is that the guy did everything he's supposed to do. He jumped through all the hoops. And there has been no contact from the embassy stating you are not going to be able to come in as you expected. You're going to have to quarantine. They don't even have the... Now, I don't know, maybe he can come and they won't say anything and there's no decision going to be made. I have a feeling on Friday the decision's going to be made. But they don't have their shit together enough to send out a message to people who are in that predicament where they're going to come in after the 10th. They're not even sending messages that are saying, we're very sorry, you're not going to be able to come in and use this Thailand pass. Or here's what you're going to have to do. They don't. Or right now we are waiting for a decision to be made. We're very sorry, but we'll get back to you. No, they can't even do that. So when it comes to Thailand having their shit together, listen. You want to get your vaccine? You want to go and get your booster? They got their shit together. It's 1, 2, 3. You're out the door. You want to come into the country? For some people, it's very easy. But when it comes to decision making, they are all over the place. And I'm not saying that it's easy to make decisions. But Jesus Christ, make a decision already. Stick to it. Learn to live with it. To me, it's a freaking joke, man. You know, it's like, it's just sad. What was this bullshit I was reading up here? Just political flexing and fear-mongering. Okay, see, the thing is, you really, you can say that, but they don't give a shit what you say. So what does it matter? Yeah, Soy That Cowboy is generally pretty reasonable about this, and reasonable about, you know, should you come, should you not. I said it yesterday. I don't care what anybody says. I really don't. If it were me and I had to do it all over again right now, would I move here under the current circumstances? There's the Jim who's coming over here in, I think, a month or so. All right, he's ready to move here. Hey, it's a little bit late now to change up and just say, okay, well, let's go live somewhere else. But if you're planning for a place, you better have at the very least, you better have a backup place. We're booked on Wednesday. I got it. All right. Gennaro, I think by fall we will be in a better situation. I sure hope so. And, you know, I did say sometime in the middle of the year, things would start to show, start to look a little bit better. They already look a little better. But I think it's this inconsistency, at least here and everywhere. In America, that Fauci is flip-flopped, you know, more than a freaking whore in Pat Palm. You know, I mean, really. How can you believe anything the guy says? He doesn't know his ass from a hole in the wall. He may be a smart guy. He may be a top scientist, the medical doctor, or whatever, you know. At the end of the day, though, because he's a politician, he's completely full of shit. Oh, I mean, that's the big thing, Johnny, is that the elections are coming up here. Bars with no air could continue to drink. Okay, so no air means great ventilation. Having air means poor ventilation, apparently. I don't get it. I haven't got it in a long time. What was somebody just sent me something about Mexico this morning? I can't remember. I got so many messages. Yeah, well, he says this, he says that, and, you know, what really happens, we'll see. He's got money, so he may be able to buy his way back in, but Jesus Christ. This place is, you know, I feel like I want to be an ostrich. Even though ostriches don't really put their head in the ground. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to put my head in the ground. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit. I get messages from some people sometimes, and I just go, dude, I don't care, especially about America. I don't give a shit what's going on in America, unless it affects me. I don't care. I don't care anymore. I'm sorry. I don't really care. You know, I only care. I want to be like this. Is it affecting me in my life? Is it affecting my family? Is it affecting my friends? And that's it. Other than that, you know, the air-conditioned bars had to stop drinking at 11 o'clock. Okay, I understand. But wouldn't you think that the air-conditioned bars would have a little better ventilation than the places that weren't air-conditioned? I mean, they could both just turn the air off and open the windows, if there are windows. Listen, I don't give a shit about that guy either. All right, so I stand corrected to smell water. I don't want to smell water when I stick my head down there. You know, it's. I mean, I look everywhere. I look at all the different sites at least once a day. I look and I want to see what's going on. God bless the USA. If you say so, buddy. I dare say that I don't have to worry about a lot of things here that in the United States people are freaking out about. And I know a lot of it is the media, but 11 people died today. Wow. How many people on the roads died? Quite a bit more. You know, if they stopped testing and only the people who were sick enough to warrant a hospital stay went into the hospital, I think things would change almost immediately. I mean, really. I do not know where Chucky is. Chucky is probably waiting with bated breath to see if he can get into Thailand. He wants me to keep him updated, but as of right now, I don't have any news for him. Tomorrow, they're supposed to meet. The CCSA is supposed to meet, and that Anutin has already said he's recommending that they don't open up the bars, and you know. Chucky is waiting. He's, you know, he doesn't ever want to come into the stream, like, you know, in the chat. I don't know why. Because I think he has to stay too focused. Because, you know, he's a bit all over the place. Even when you have video on him. When I have video on him and he's in the stream, you know, he's like, what are you doing, Chuck? Oh, I'm having some food. So I think for him to stay focused in the chat is very difficult. With Longhorns, I don't know what's going on with Longhorns. He's back in the U.S. and I don't know. Maybe he's busy. He's looking around for a place to stay or figuring out what he's going to do to come back here. I don't know. I've only talked to him a little bit lately. But, you know, if he wants to come in, he can come in. He knows that he'll come in whenever he wants. I don't bug him to come into the stream. Every country is dealing with it on their own. Well, Thailand is doing all right. Thailand is doing okay, but I think that their indecisiveness when it comes to some things and their lack of logic, their lack of critical thinking, which I hate to tell you this, but if you got kids here, you better push them to think critically. Because a lot of them are not taught that way. They are not taught to look at every angle and think about what to do. And And I think sometimes that affects the leaders here because they're taught the same way. Learn by rote. Dallo may well have a relationship. When I saw that, I was like, what? Relationship? Dallo? Johnny, are the road deaths caused by having the COVID? I don't know about that. Who knows? And this is the other thing. There's so much information out there. It's like, okay, now you have to sift through the information. Who do you believe? What do you believe? My wife is telling me, oh, you didn't get the Pfizer booster? You didn't get the Pfizer? I'm like, you know I couldn't get it. They don't have it at that one hospital. That was the only place that I could get vaccinated. I got the AstraZeneca. She's like, oh. I'm like, what? I'm like, the other day I read that the Pfizer does not work well as a booster against the Omicron. I tell her that and she's like, oh, I don't believe that. I'm like, well, I'm just telling you what I read. I don't know if I believe it either. And you know what I mean? So this is what I mean. We are existing in slow motion here. We're stagnant. We're spinning our wheels. Yeah, once in a while, most of the time it's one step forward, 2 steps back. But every once in a while, you get 3 or 4 steps forward and only 1 step back. So at least there is some semblance of progress going on. But I still think the majority of the time we're just spinning our wheels. And of course, who's gonna like, what foreigner is gonna go up to some government official and go, you guys really need to take care of things? You think the government official gives a shit? He's gonna be like, shut your mouth. Going to the moon, Alice. To the moon. Now, I've been in contact with Patia Bob, as I usually am. We talk regularly. He's another guy that, we talk about things. And he is, in a bad way, not necessarily because he's not happy about what's going on, but because his condo alone sets stipulations for people to come and go, and and it's just like, wait a minute, we're living under some fucking strange, I didn't even know what to call it. We're in this quagmire where rules are passed and people are told what to do by people who really have very little authority. It's like, if I buy my condo in your place, the last thing I want, and I know that, there are ownership rules and regulations and all this other kind of shit. The last thing I want is people in a condo telling me who I can bring in or out to my place. And then, you got older people there, and so you got to worry about them, and I don't know, man. I just think this is such a mess, and I still say blame the Chinese government. I still say blame them. They'll come out with something else. As soon as this is done, they'll come out with something else, and the people will freak out again. Coffee and beer places. Those are the only places that are really important. In the meantime, I did see this, that household debt in Thailand is exploding here in Thailand. And the Prime Minister, what the fuck is with this guy? Always doing this shit. The Prime Minister is calling on related agencies to come up with solutions. He wants to approve a new draft on student loans as it will ease the burden on more than 5 million students and guarantors. Debt restructuring. Make it part of the national agenda. Getting specialized institutions to restructure debt so debtors do not need to worry about legal procedures. Vehicle loans. Fix the cost of debt collection. They have a whole list of things he wants to do here. How about you just put the people back to work? You start opening up again and you really learn to live with it. How many percent is vaccinated now? Can I tell you? .81% of the population. Oh, wait a minute. It says that's one shot. Wow, I thought this was going to be done by now. 66.76% have completed their vaccinations. Now, they don't have anything about boosters. And I was one of the ones yesterday. Now, I'll tell you about this place that I went because, yesterday when I went to this cafe, which I'm going to put a little video up on it, a little 5-minute video, because the place is just so cool. It is a little bit far or whatever, but okay. I was the only foreigner there. I was the only foreigner in the whole freaking district that I saw. And when I went into the hospital, and they go, "Oh, sir, you have to go out in the front where the tent is." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Go to the tent." I'm like, "All right, man, what is this going to be like?" I'm like, "Do I really want to go through this? Do I want to put myself through this?" Because my first thought is like, this is going to suck. Because I just hear, we don't handle that. You have to go in the tent. And I just thought, oh, okay. But, all right, whatever. So I go, all right, let me go see. I go over. Okay, no problem. Sir, go back inside. Then I go inside. Sir, go up to the second floor. I go to the second floor. There's probably 20 people in the whole place waiting to be vaccinated. By the time I got vaccinated, I was the last person. There was no one in the place. I was the only, person in the place. And, they were very, very nice, very quick, very efficient. They check all your vitals, and then they, make sure that everything's copacetic with your paperwork and everything. And, of course, at first this is a predominantly Muslim area, and the staff, the nurses there, were very hesitant about speaking Thai to me. But once they found out that I spoke Thai, then it was like, oh, and they all wanted to talk to me, and I'm sitting there alone. I'm waiting. I got 30 minutes to leave. They want you to sit there for 30 minutes. So they're all asking me questions and everything. And, they gave me a little tube of hand cleaner. Which, listen. Getting anything free. The vaccines, the booster, a little tube of... All right, listen, it's better than a kick in the ass. And I'll take it, and I think it's great that, I could do it. But let me tell you, man, there was there was no foreigners there, and there were very, very few people in the whole hospital. It wasn't a bad hospital at all. But, definitely older. Reminded me of the place I went and had my hip surgery in Chiang Mai. What is this? Scott, shot 4 and 5 coming will be required, lowered from 6 months to 5. Listen, I think I'm going to have to draw the line at 3. Third time's a charm, baby. I mean, you know, if the, okay, listen, in a year, if you got to have a shot once a year, like a flu shot, and they're not mandating it, they don't mandate flu shots, then I don't really have a problem with it. But if it's like, oh, every 3 months you're going to be getting a shot, then I kind of wonder, you know, what the hell's the purpose of that? I think I got here at the wrong time. Anyway. Oh, it says here, Thailand has not reported numbers in over a week, so predicted numbers may not be accurate. Wow. Hey, Walter, how you doing? Yes, it is a beautiful day. Definitely. Not a cloud in the sky. The Thai baht is 33.27, which, I'd like the dollar to be a little stronger, but what are you going to do? We always get a yearly flu shot. Might be something like that going forward. If that's the case, I don't have a problem with it. You know, I really don't have a problem with it. But, you know, I mean, this past year, it was like 6 months ago, that was the first time I've had a flu shot in years. I never get the yearly flu shot. And I haven't been sick in almost 4 years now. And like, I think it's like 3 years and 8 months. I haven't been sick at all. So, knock on wood, hopefully that will stick. But, you know, anyway, I think this lack of logic. Yes, she does. Well, I don't know if they're smitten. I mean, you got like, you got 2 out of the 4 that are kind of just like, you know, sitting there looking at their little monitors and not worrying about what she's saying. Would love to buy you lunch, dinner. I'm here with my Filipina fiance. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Get a hold of me. I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, at this point, I don't know. I never know. Probably I'll be in town. I don't think I'm going to go anywhere right now because of what's going on. So, send me a message. Maybe she's the one giving the presentation. I don't know. You know, I've had a chance to see my wife at work. Jesus Christ. You know what, this shit would drive me nuts, man. What this girl is doing, and, you know, having to yap to all these people, and it's just driving me nuts after a while. She would drive me nuts. I don't know, she's just talking about a sponsor, I don't know. Sponsorship. I don't really think it's a class, I think it's their colleagues. She's talking really fast, though. So, the barista today, I don't know what happened, but before the barista were beer and Tian. They've been barista for the last week or so. Maybe their week was up because today it's Preo and this other guy. I think she's nervous is what it is. Whatever. Hey, whatever, you know? At least she doesn't have a problem talking in front of him. You know, what would drive me? It would drive me nuts. What would really drive me nuts if she was sitting there going, so the, Now, you know, I was talking about how Nicholas is supposed to start school. And we were concerned because we hadn't heard from the school. Is he going to is he going to learn, he's going to study at the school, or is he going to study online? And finally yesterday they came out and they said it's online learning for the first week. So he doesn't have to go for at least a week to his school, which means we don't have to get him an apartment for at least a week. And Alex will be away on this little trip. So, you know, at least we got one of the kids at home. We're almost facing the empty nest syndrome. We're almost at that point now. I can't believe it. I'm gonna put up a video of the kids. I got 2 videos of them that are gonna go up when they were younger. So that's something. But you know, for Alex's school, they're learning online for the first month. So I'm assuming that tomorrow and at the end of January, they are going to, they being the CCSA or health minister, are going to determine, are the schools going to remain open? They're going to stay closed? What's the deal? Because that's pretty important. Yeah, he's still playing guitar. He just got this interface thing the other day that allows him to, he plugs the guitar into the interface, then the interface goes to the computer, and so he can record everything that he plays. So he's he's making his own music now. You know, so, yeah, he's still playing guitar. And, you know, we've been wanting to move for quite some time. We talked about it this morning because, you know, my wife and I are going on these morning walks at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Hour and a half, 2-hour walks. But we've been talking about, you know, we always talk about stuff when we're walking. But we've been talking about moving from this place. And the problem is I don't want to move twice. I don't want to move and then move somewhere and then have to move again because we got a lot of stuff. And it's important with the kids and all this stuff. And so that's another thing I'm considering. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what am I going to do? I'm going to move somewhere else, and where are we going to move? You know, and is she going to want to buy a place? Are we going to... This is life, you know. So, I mean, I'm all right with it, but I just go with the flow, you know. But the kids they're on their way out the door, man. They're on their way out the door. It's what happens. One minute they're little kids, you know, that they just want to beg. They want to beg you to help them or to help you. They're dying to help you with everything you're doing. And then it's like, you're like, hey, can you help me with this? I'm busy. I'm really busy right now. You know, it's not quite as easy. So, We're going through changes in the Malin household, in the life and times of an American in Bangkok. Let me see something else here. Yeah, the Thai Prime Minister and CCSA are supposed to meet tomorrow. I don't know when. Is it going to be in the morning? I wasn't planning on streaming today, but I just figured, why not? Let's see here. The Prime Minister has closely monitored the situation. That suit me just fine. They want to stop the spread of the virus. When are they going to learn? They're not going to stop it. It's not going to happen. All this, has it been stopped in Australia? Has it been stopped in China where they have all these zero cases and all this other kind of stuff? I don't think so. But she has not taken a breath. Hello, Andy. Wow. Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe. What you gonna do? What the hell? How the hell does that song go? Hey, Joe. What you gonna do? And they shot your mother down, or something like that. What's the word? Now it's gonna bug me. Lyrics. Thank you very much, and choke D to you. Where are you going with that gun in your hand? That's what it is. Oh, and then it's, hey, Joe, I heard you shot your mama down. Anyway, good song, man. Yeah, happy New Year, everybody. It's a fine line, really, you know. I think that's what it is. The line is even finer now between positivity and negativity here. And I don't mean here as in just in Thailand. I mean really pretty much everywhere in the world. Wow. Well, what's he ranked right now in the world? Is he number one? I don't know. I can't keep track of it anymore. I don't watch it as much as I used to. That sucks. Listen, the Prime Minister, he's really, they're very concerned about all these clusters that they're finding. What does the cluster matter? I mean, granted, people don't want to get sick. But what does the cluster matter if people aren't dying in mass? I mean, listen, nobody wants to die. But if you look at it, it's like, oh, this guy had heart problems. This guy was 83 years old and, you know, had all kinds of underlying medical conditions. And just the other day, I saw this thing where Fauci was saying, oh, yeah, there's a big difference between dying from COVID and dying with COVID. And people were like, that's what we've been telling you all along, but you refuse to acknowledge this in the beginning. This chick is driving me nuts. She hasn't stopped. She's still... She must have something important to talk about. I don't know. Very animated. Let's all sit and watch for a moment, shall we? Relevant authorities should strictly enforce the regulations against violators, especially among venues that illegally are running as entertainment venues or pretending to be restaurants, but are in fact pubs, bars, or nightlife establishments. Well, you know what? This is exactly what I'm talking about. So it's okay for a restaurant to open up. What's the difference between a pub and a restaurant? Because a restaurant can serve wine and they might serve beer. And a pub is supposedly more a bar than a restaurant. What the hell is the difference? Every place, they ought to just all change their name and see if they can get the proper licensing. So if they're, Joe's Pub, maybe they can be Joe's Restaurant. Yeah, they're obviously involved in this, and I've seen my wife do this kind of stuff, and I'm just sitting there just going. And what I noticed a lot of the time is, I don't know if it's just in Thailand, but I noticed there's a lot of fluff. A lot of yak. Listen, get to the crux of it, of the issue. What are you trying to do? Let's do it. Boom, boom, boom. Get it done. Does everybody understand? Yes. Let's move on. But they don't tend to do that here. It's like they want to pat each other on the butt and acknowledge everybody is, oh yeah, we understand you. That's exactly what we're looking for. Yes, yes. Oh yes, I understand. Oh, don't worry. Oh. I hear this, believe me, I hear it all the time. And sometimes I'm, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's what is this? Crypto tax. Crypto traders subject to 15% capital gains tax. Profits from cryptocurrency trading are now subject to 15% capital gains tax, according to a source from the Finance Ministry. The ministry recommends investors identify their income from cryptocurrencies when filing taxes this year to avoid legal penalties. In 2022, all taxpayers who gained from cryptocurrency, including investors and mining operators, are subject to a 15% withholding tax, while digital asset exchanges are exempt from such duties. The Revenue Department plans to strengthen its surveillance of cryptocurrency trading this year after it saw significant growth in market size and the value of the digital asset market in 2021, the source said. So in other words, if they can collect on the tax money, the taxes that they feel are owed them, then that's just more money that they're, it's like free money. It is important that once the seller is subject to withholding tax, the profits from crypto transfers must also be filed for annual income tax returns, as such withholding is not considered a final withholding tax. Sellers can use the deducted tax as a tax credit, for a deduction next year under Section 60 of the Revenue Code. There we go. In a pub, people get cozier. Yeah, team building. I fucking hate that shit. I've seen her and I've seen other companies, her being my wife, and I've seen other companies doing this shit where, oh, well, the team is going to go do this, the team is going to go that, the team, listen, tell the team to go fuck off. You're not getting paid for that shit. What are you going to go with them for? I always tell my wife that, I'm like, what the hell you got to go? I don't tell her anymore because I know now, she's already explained everything to me about, different people and the way things operate in a company. But I've seen it in several companies here where they do this team building shit. Man, it's like some woman's got a newborn baby at home that the babysitter is watching, and she's dying to get home to see her little baby. But I can't come home tonight. I gotta go do team building. And let me tell you something. be happy that you are not a Thai employee here. Because it might as well be Japan. Very animated. Anyway, density restriction back on here for pubs, cafes, etc. 1 per 2 square meters. 1 person per 2 square meters. This is almost like people watching. It's almost fun for me. You know what? I need an espresso. I think an espresso will hit the spot. Don't you? Let's go say hello to Preo. Hot Doppio. ครับผม Team building เท่าไหร่นะขึ้นนะ Jesus Christ แป๊บนึง They raised the price again. Unbelievable. They raised the price on all food and goods here. So the Doppio espresso that was 105 baht, that used to be 70 baht when I first started coming here, and probably it was 85 baht when I started streaming, is now up to 105 baht. And you know, you can say, oh, that's still pretty cheap. Okay. That's about $3.50. ทำไมก็ใส่หน้ากากก็สีแชมพูอ่ะชอบปะเหรอไม่ชอบสีดำก็โอเคใช่ไหม Thank you, madam. They're busy, man. These Starbucks girls are busy. You know, if I came in here at 7:30 when they opened up. Thank you there, ZH. Songkran a no-go. Thank you very much. Songkran a no-go. It's a little early to say, but I mean, I would say plan tentatively. But I think it's going to be okay, but I don't know that they're going to let everybody go nuts and, you know, play in water and do all this. I don't know, you know. Last time I did buy a coffee was in Thailand. Andy, how many days before you come here? Or are you still coming here? Honestly, if you have not made your plans yet to come to Thailand, I would wait. If you've already made your plans and you feel like you can come here, then I would come. You don't buy coffee? You mean you don't buy coffee when you're out, or you don't drink it at home, or... I don't. The only reason I'm drinking it right now is because I feel like I need another coffee. I already had a double espresso at home. I just have I have some apprehension about. I mean, we're already at January 6th, so April 6th is 4 months away, right? February, March, April, 3 months away, sorry. 3 months away. That's not really all that much time. When are you looking to get to time? Ah, shit, man. Andy, when are you supposed to come? I thought you were supposed to come like in a couple of weeks. Yes, went out. Home is coffee. Other refreshments went out. Yeah. I had some apple juice this morning. I don't usually buy apple juice at the I don't buy much apple juice. Sort of tapered down. The Songkran in the last couple of years, honestly, Songkran in the last 3 or 4 years has been nothing like it used to be 10, 20 years ago. Nothing like it was. It was absolute chaos 15, 20 years ago. And they have a water festival in Cambodia. They have a water festival in Myanmar, and I believe they have one in Laos. And none of them are as crazy as the Thais, or as much fun, in my opinion. But the last time that I really was involved in it, where it was a lot of fun, and I was like really we were going crazy, was in Suratani, and we went into the city and we played in the city. And we were in the back. There was a bunch of us. We were in a pickup truck, and we had a couple of garbage cans full of water, and we had the big guns and everything like that. And then when we went back to the village, we're on the side of the road, and we're just throwing and shooting water at people. I had apple juice once. She was a wonder. Well, and there's all kinds of juice. Well, how can I put this? 2 February. Okay. So, yeah, you got a few weeks. I don't know, who knows what they're going to do, You listen to them now and it's like, oh, test and go people are testing positive. Of course they're testing positive. Because the vaccines are not for the Omicron. And since it doesn't do much anyway, then why the freak out? Listen, if this had, a 10 or 20% kill ratio, you get it, and 10% of the people are going to die. I would understand a little bit more, But, this is, the numbers are minuscule now. End of presentation. Apple only juiced once. The mall is open now. The grocery's open. Now they've reverted back. See, I don't understand this either. This mall used to open every day, 10 o'clock. COVID comes. They open at 11, but the groceries open at 10, so you can go in. You just can't go in through the mall. Then they open up early for the holidays. They allow the mall to open at 10 o'clock. Now, because the holidays are over, they took the Christmas tree away. I just noticed that. Now they only open at 11. Andy, I got my booster yesterday. I don't know why I'm happy. I'm not really, but what are you gonna do? You know. You'd make a great special guest on a live stream at Starbucks. Yes, you would. Hey guys, do me a favor. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. The next couple of days, there should be several videos going up, and at least one more stream. Yeah, if you subscribe, if you're not subscribed already, and you click that notification bell, then you'll be sure to find out exactly what's going on. Subscribe, share, leave a comment, all that good stuff. And get a t-shirt, by the way. Get yourself a t-shirt. Get yourself an American in Bangkok t-shirt. There's quite a few of them. The link should be down in the description. I don't know how many I have now. There's some shirts, coffee mugs, all kinds of stuff. I never understand the restricted hours that people need to do business, opening less hours for same amount of business. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. I don't get their logic. Should be open 24 hours and let people shop at late hours if you really want. Well, there used to be Foodland down the street used to be open 24 hours a day. Not anymore. Hasn't been 24 hours a day since well before the pandemic. I don't know why. Maybe they weren't getting enough people in, but I did like to go a little bit later when no one was there. And I can't remember who it is that does that. Maybe it's Jono. Maybe it's my buddy Scott. They go shopping late in the evening. And I can't remember where they go. Maybe it's Villa Market or something. I don't know. But it is nice that place is open like that. And you know, what's the point of opening up the grocery store but nothing else? Well, and I don't get the whole, I still to this day don't get why they don't allow people to come into Starbucks and go through the doors at the same time as the people that are coming in. Instead, they act like knuckleheads and walk straight into the door and bang into the door, or they're pulling on the door. How come you're not open? There's a lot of things that don't make sense. But you know, when you come to Thailand, why ask why? You're better off not asking, because you just be like, that makes no freaking sense. Hey, why don't you open up a big restaurant, but you're not allowed to open up a little bar that is half inside, half outside. You know, some of the bars in Pattaya, you know, I think it's on 2nd Street. You know, it's like, it's a shop house. There are chairs outside and chairs inside. If that doesn't provide ventilation, the place is open. What does? So why can't those people, why can't they be open? And maybe in the case of Pattaya, and I don't know this, you know, I don't know everything, and I just know what I hear, and maybe they are out to break the people that have many of these bars and pubs, and they want to try to make it a family, Pattaya, a family-oriented place, destination. I don't get that either. I really don't. Because it's a joke. Well, he's probably working. You know, like somebody like him, you know, he's in and out. He's probably working. He saw the coconut girl, I don't know, a week or so ago. He saw the coconut girl. And, you know, and you know, this is another thing. I mean, one thing is that I've seen a lot of people come through the stream and be in the chat, and there are some people in the beginning, they were there every single day, and then all of a sudden they're gone. It happens, you know, so I don't worry about it too much. Not at this point, I don't. In the beginning, I was like, what happened, man? Did I do anything wrong? And then somebody, the same guy will just return. I'll be like, oh, I thought I did something wrong. Nah, I just, you know, oh, shit. TIT, this is Thailand. My Thai colleague taught me that. Well, if you went to my merchandise site, if you clicked on that link, you would see there is a This is Thailand t-shirt. It actually says tit. Tit, this is Thailand. Yeah, see? There you go. No more Texas chicken for me, unfortunately. First of all, it is not the healthiest food. Second of all, you know, last week, I really catch streams live. It's early hours in the UK. Yeah, I know. And that, you know, that's one thing I told myself I would do this year is I'm going to start making some streams at different times. Because I think I'm losing out on some people because of the, you know, the time that I stream. But getting back to the Texas chicken. So a couple of weeks ago, I get this Mexicana burger, which I've had many times, and Jono and Longhorns both have stated that they you know, it affected them. It affected their stomachs. That's being polite. And I was like, it doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't do anything to me. Well, the other day I had the Mexicana burger. I come home. I was thinking about getting everybody some. Texas chicken. So, okay, Johnny, you take care, huh? I was thinking about getting some Texas chicken. I go, just get the burger, you know, because I know how Alex can be, and I know Nicholas can be very picky about their food. So I go home, and there's a big bag. The wife had gotten a big bag of Texas chicken. They're all sitting there, and I thought, well, that Mexicana burger, I can use a little wrap. I can use a little wrap here. So I had a little wrap, and they all ate. And then for the next week, all of us were complaining about our stomachs. And I'm still complaining about it. A little bit. And I don't know if it's the low-grade chicken or the oil or whatever it is. But for whatever reason, all of us were like ripping big ones left and right. Coconut milk or coconut water? How's the COVID situation in Bangkok? They're closing down Hong Kong. They're not going to close down Bangkok. They're making it difficult. More difficult. Get fresh coconut milk. You mean fresh coconut water? The Texas chicken now, I've noticed that, you know, it does provide you with a bit of excessive gas. We just went to Happy Street. I was just over there, was it yesterday? Day before yesterday? Yeah, I can't eat any of this fast food anymore. And you know, we've been using this air fryer, and we've been cooking up all kinds of things. that are a lot more healthy, and I feel better than when I eat Texas chicken. Texas chicken, just after a while, it just gets to be too much. Happy Street, and listen, Gennaro, no offense, but the coconut girl, I saw her the other day when I was walking through. I had to walk, across the street or whatever. I didn't have any groceries, so I didn't take a taxi back. I just walked across, took a song towel, and she was sitting there. And how can I put this? I don't think, if I don't go there, you're not missing anything. The only thing is Happy Street. It's supposed to be a happy place, and there are a lot of people walking around. All right, you can people watch for a few minutes. But I just did it, last week? I got my limits. I got my limits at Happy Street. No, definitely not. She's not even she's like, I don't even want to get into it, but no. It's more like I walked all the way over here for this. I mean, okay, give me the coconut water. But I buy. She sells it for what? 25, 30 baht, 35 baht. I get it from down the street for 35 baht. Out of the coconut. I get the coconut meat too, and I can put ice in it just like her and make it just as good. And I don't know. Shit, I'd rather go to Rap God than go to Happy Street. And that's not going to happen. I'm not going to Rap God. Rap God is worse than going to Texas Chicken. No offense. No offense to anybody who likes both places, but I think, I don't remember who it was that said she was holding court, but she certainly is. There must be some kind of hierarchy. I always like people watching at Happy Street. I've thought about doing a video maybe, or a stream at night at Happy Street. Something like but the problem is that if it's, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, well then it's 5 o'clock on the East Coast or West Coast. So, a lot of people don't want to watch. I wouldn't want to watch me at 5 o'clock in the morning. Look at this. Just tried to come in. No, you can't come in. No, you can't come in. Gennaro, are you trying to fuck with me? My wife made pad krapao yesterday. Seriously, she did. I come home from my, ordeal out at the Voodoo Cafe and at getting my vaccine, and I was like, I'm hungry. What am I gonna eat? And what the hell did I eat? I had a avocado with some tuna fish and a bowl of minestrone soup. And then I see on the table pad krapao. I'll have some of this. I just said, let me have a taste. So I tasted it, and it was a little bit spicy, and I'm just like, it's not one of my favorite dishes. Now, I have been writing, as I've said. I've been writing, and not as much as I want, but I have been doing it regularly. And my buddy contacted me. I think I said something about this the other day. My buddy contacted me from the U.S., and we used to go to this Thai restaurant all the time, Thai Diamond Barbecue. It used to be in Diamond Bar, hence the Thai Diamond Barbecue. But now it's in Rancho Cucamonga. It was in both locations for whatever reason. Now it's in Rancho Cucamonga. Um, Gennaro, come on. Let me tell you something. My pad krapao was as good as his. I'll be honest. I can make it just. It's not. It's the most. It's the easiest meal to make. It's so easy. You want to make pad thai? That's a bit. That's a bit more difficult. I mean, you know, I can cook some pad see ew. I can cook some. What is it? Pad. No. Pad pit. Guy Mamon, is that what it is? The chicken with cashew, but I have really never ever cooked a pad thai, and it's because of the noodles. So, but anyway, she had the pad krapao on the dinner table, and so then for dinner, I had something else. I don't remember what it was, fish or something. And there was pad krapao left, and I was like, all right, I might as well eat some of it. So I had a little bowl of it. So I'm not longing for any pad krapao. That's my point. You know, I used to like spicy food, and I used to be able to eat it, and I can still eat it, but I don't know if it's because of my gallbladder, not having a gallbladder, my bile duct being screwed up. But ever since that surgery, I have not really wanted as much spicy food. And I did, if you remember, I had the one chip challenge after I had my surgery. And I had those noodles after the surgery. But after that, I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't want spice in the food simply to see how spicy you can, how spicy you can take it. What's the point of that? I want spicy that accents the flavor and it makes the dish better. Yeah, I don't have to, I mean, it doesn't affect me that way really, but, the next day going out, the starfish is tingling. Pad kimao, pad see ew. I like all the noodle dishes. Yeah, I like that. Me like spicy also, but lately, no. My wife, something else she did, she made a bowl of something for me, khao kha mu. It's really nice neck of the pork, of the pig. And, it has some garlic and some chili pepper in it, but she threw a handful of chili peppers in it, and I go, what the hell are you doing that for? Don't do that. I don't want spicy. Oh, just a little bit. It'll taste better. So what she do, she grabs a handful of them and throws them in the dish, and then I started eating them, and I'm like, and that with the Texas chicken, my stomach was thrashed for a good solid week, and it's just now starting to recover. So, anyway. What are you gonna do? You live in Thailand, you eat Thai food sometimes. Had some really good mango and sticky rice last night. Yeah, I like mango, sticky rice, and coconut milk. Not coconut water, but coconut milk. Thank you, Dalo. Time for some coconut water. I'll have to make it over there. I'll put it on my list of places to go. I forget what the hell I was going to have for lunch today here. I've been meaning to go to the ramen restaurant. Longhorns and I went to the ramen restaurant, which is very, very good. There's that restaurant I went to the other day, the normal restaurant. normal steak. I don't know why they call it that, but that's what it's called. And maybe because their food is normal. I don't know. It is pretty normal. Man, this place is going to be packed today, I can tell. What's today? Thursday? I can tell you that my wife and kids are worried because they've been going to the gym every afternoon. And they're worried that they're going to shut down the gym. You know, they're like, we better go now because we might not be able to go for a while. And that park I go to all the time, Gennaro, time for some more coconut water. I'll put it on my list, all right? I will put it on the list. I will make it over there again. Just for you guys, I will make it there. Bastards. She's not there every day, by the way. I don't know why. I have no idea. I don't know who owns the place or whatever. The other girl was a lot more friendly. You know, sometimes I think if you walk over there and you got a camera, listen, that's one thing I just do not like. I don't like being the guy who's, I'm walking up with a camera and it's like, that guy again? He's got that camera. He's always pointing that camera in my face. I hate that shit, you know? But, you know, what are you going to do? Sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. A lot of people coming in here. Christmas is over. I wonder if the big Christmas tree is gone now. Should go outside and take a look. Why don't we? Let's go take a look. Shall we? No, they don't. That's not true. I've been to Japan. The tree is still up. They have not taken it down. Now, you know what I am going to do? I am going to, in the near future, make a video about this line and that line and the Ramkhameng line, because that Ramkhameng line it really goes a long way. It's gonna go, that thing is gonna go, God, I think it's something like 40 kilometers, but it goes all the way from, shit, I don't remember. I'll show it when I'll do a little video. I'm gonna do a little video about it, but man, they really are gonna, if you like cities and you like Bangkok and you really want to live here and you're set on living here, you don't want to, you're not like me, you don't want to live out by some little beach in a hut or something. These two lines are really gonna make a difference in the way that people get around. And some of the line, this line, I've said it before, this line is monorail, but the other line is just like a regular SkyTrain, but it is also owned by the MRT, the Mass Rail Transit. Is that what it is? And they are gonna, basically it's gonna be underground and elevated. So that'll really help out a lot in getting around. I don't know what it's going to mean in the way of pricing and, you know, for people who are looking for apartments, is the price going to go up? And I don't think it's going to matter to, like, where we live, I don't think it's going to matter much because it still takes about 5 or 10 minutes by motorbike to get here. But it's really going to make a difference, and the vast majority of it will be done next year. But part of the Ramkhamhaeng line, which goes all the way to Minbury, almost to where I went yesterday, which, you know, it's pretty far. Some of that is not going to be done because they're still trying to get the pricing and tender the offer and everything, and that won't be until April of this year, and then I think they're going to be done in 2026. So it's going to be a while before they get everything set. Anyway, the tree's still out here. They haven't taken the tree down. Let's see how long it takes to get the tree down. Not a lot of people waiting around right now. Alright, let's go back in. I heard the fast rail line has been put on hold. Well, yeah, I believe so. I believe you are right there. Let's see here. Exactly, Dallo. Isn't damn near every restaurant in Japan is a Japanese restaurant, unless it's not a Japanese restaurant. Anyway, no, they're never going to learn. That was the subject of this stream was, are they ever going to learn? No, they won't. Let me see something here, though. Now, one thing I need to do, and I've been saying I'm going to do it, and I will eventually get it done, is I want to get the drone fixed. Here we go. It goes from Bangkunon, which is just past, it's over by Sirirach Hospital, just past the Chao Phraya River, and it goes all the way to Minbury, Yak Romklao. I mean, it goes past Sanam Luang, Democracy Monument, Pratunam, Dindang, then the Thailand Cultural Center, Ramkhamhaeng, Rajamangala with the stadium over here, Lamsali, and then it goes down to Minbury. I mean, it is quite extensive. It is 35.86 kilometers. So that'll help a lot for people who like Bangkok and they want to get around. I have a feeling I'll be doing a lot more traveling with the SkyTrain and the subway once these are finished, because they go everywhere, man. Yeah, the Western Extension tender delayed 2 years. It's supposed to be done in April of this year. So, but once they're done, they're done. Very cool. Anyway. I think the let me see something. Let's see. I forget who it was. Somebody asked about Jono. I believe he's doing just fine. I haven't talked to him in about 2 or 3 days, but last I heard he was doing just fine. Anyway, I think we're about done here. Not much else to talk about. If you guys have something to talk about, let me know. But one thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with a list of places again. He's going to be deported later today. Are they open now? It never fails. Yeah, but I want to know, is he the top ranked guy? Stuck in airport. Serbian president demands Australian entry. Djokovic threatens legal action after visa refusal leaves him stranded. Here we go. Mr. Djokovic, this is Scott Morrison. Mr. Djovic's visa has been canceled. Rules are rules, especially when it comes to our borders. No one is above these rules, except him. Except Scott Morrison. He's exempt from the rules. Our strong border policies have been critical to Australia, having one of the lowest death rates in the world from the COVID. We are continuing to be vigilant. Yeah, use the COVID. Yeah, use the COVID as an excuse. Djovic's diet is based on vegetables, beans, white meat, fish, fruit, nuts, seeds, chickpeas, lentils, and healthy oils. Yeah, I don't understand this. He's refused entry. Look. Look at this. I'm sorry, but is your what the hell is he? The minister of what is he? Minister of Prime Minister? Is he a bit full of himself? I'm just wondering. Oh, Djokovic said he is opposed to vaccination. Tennis Australia confirmed a medical exemption had been granted for the player following a rigorous review process involving 2 separate independent panels, but problems emerged after Djokovic arrived in Melbourne from Dubai. He failed to provide appropriate evidence to meet the entry requirements to Australia, and his visa has been subsequently canceled. Non-citizens who do not hold a valid visa on entry or who have had their visa canceled will be detained and removed from Australia. Australian Health Minister Greg Hunt. Sure, his name's not Mike Hunt. Earlier, I couldn't help myself. Australian Health Minister Mike Hunt. His name is Greg Hunt. Earlier described Djovic's treatment as tough but fair and said it's one rule for all under this Australian government. But the tennis star's treatment has provoked outrage in his native Serbia. His father said his son had been held in a room guarded by police at the airport. Now that sounds like something that definitely is happening. President Alexander Vučić said the star was a victim of harassment and said that the whole of Serbia supported him. Well, that doesn't really matter. Australia is seeing tens of thousands of COVID cases for the first time after enduring some of the world's strictest restrictions. Yeah, look how, remember they had the zero tolerance and there was going to be zero cases? All Paulies are crap. I was like, how come I haven't seen anything? Then I look on my computer and there's all these hold, because you got these words in here, prick, crap. He looks like a smug prick to me. I mean, I'm just saying. He looks like a bit of an asshole. Many Australians had previously accused the government of allowing the rich and famous to do as they please while ordinary people remain separated from sick and dying loved ones. And then that, I mean, I can understand that that's a big deal and that rules are rules, but why did they give him an exemption and then they just say, no, you can't come in? Is it because he went to Dubai? Is it because he refused to be tested? What is it? Yeah, I think really you need all the details on this, but this is just another case, another example of why this has been such a freaking nightmare to people around the world. You know, it's like, let the guy go earn a buck. Let him go play. Let him go do his thing. Yeah, I don't know, you know, maybe if he tested positive, I guess that's a different story, but Scott Morrison is back to talking tough, but so far he hasn't explained or answered the glaring questions at the heart of the story. What is the issue with Djovic's visa? What's the medical reason for his exemption? And why had he been given the green light to fly and take part in the Australian Open if there are issues with his visa application? Big enough issues, it seems, for the player to get deported. Djovic is not the only player who was granted a visa exemption. A handful of 26 athletes who applied were given an exemption. Who are they? Why are their cases different from Djovic's? I'm wondering if it has to do with this stopping in Dubai. Maybe he got out and was walking around in the airport. I don't know. Who knows? I'm sure all the information will come out in due time. There seems to be a clear disconnect. This is on the BBC. Seems to be agree. It's time for a stroll to Happy Street and some refreshing coconut water. Listen, guys, I would go over there, but I don't want to go over there and have to walk back. I think it's interesting to talk about this. And it's 10:49. I don't think she's going to be there, but just give me a minute, all right? Jesus Christ. The state of Victoria had approved Djokovic to compete in the tournament. He's dominated and to defend his title. On Wednesday, Mr. Morrison said it was Victoria's decision to make, but less than a day later, he changed course and said no to the above rules. He's complaining about 14-day quarantine. Last time he was in Australia, maybe Australian government does not like him. Well, so what if he's not allowed to complain? Does complaining about quarantine, does that mean that they're allowed to do whatever they want to you because you complain about it? So you're not allowed to say shit now. The decision has sparked anger overseas, but the PM is hoping the decision will go down well with Australians. You know, Mr. Morrison has been under immense political pressure over his government's handling of the Omicron variant amid rocketing number of cases and chaos at testing clinics, all with the looming election in the next few months. Okay, are there more people dying in Australia than before? That's my question. That is my question. Cambodia or Sri Lanka if I can't get into Thailand? I don't know. I thought Sri Lanka was an easier place to get in, but Cambodia just recently opened up, and it's pretty easy to get in. I don't know why it is these places they let people in, but Thailand's having such a problem, especially if the death rate is decreasing. About the same death rate. I don't know what to say. You know, what are you gonna do? Where's the little guy going like this? Do they have one of those little guys? There you go. All right, listen, we're almost at 2 hours. It's time to go because actually I need to do a few things before I go and run some errands, which is why I'm not walking across the street right now, because I still have to put all my stuff away. I got all kinds of shit out. With CV, not from CV, what? Oh, with COVID, not from COVID, exactly. I mean, to me, it's a really frustrating, what's so frustrating is that it just continues and goes on and on and on. And in the beginning, I admit, I'm thinking to myself, oh, if I touch an ATM, I better wash my hands immediately, like right at the ATM. I'd have to have the stuff and wash my hands on, the gel or whatever. And now I'm like, come on, man. And then, what about the big thing to me is, what the hell are we getting vaccinated for? Okay, we're not going to die. Well, if we're not going to die and the other people aren't going to die and the death rate is very low, then what are we worried about? If you're older and you've got all kinds of pre-existing conditions, limit your interaction with people. That's the way to learn to live with it. Everybody else, listen, I understand you're in a crowded room, whatever. I don't understand really. You go into a crowded restaurant. When you walk in, you got the mask on, right? Oh, let's be safe. You sit down with your buddy or your buddies, or your wife or whatever, and then there's other people at other tables. Everybody's breathing in the room, and you don't have a mask on. So what's the point of that? What's the point of, oh, well, we'll wear the mask inside. Now, outside, forget about it. Listen, every day I've been going, he's the defending Australian Open champion. The other players think he shouldn't be allowed in if he's not following our rules. Listen, I believe he shouldn't be allowed in either if he doesn't follow the rules. However, if he's given an exemption and said he's going to be allowed in, then why are they changing tact at this late juncture? I have always acknowledged that none of it makes sense. So don't act like I just woke up and I realized things now. Don't even go there, because that's not true. I understand this is a shit show from the get-go. I ought to make a shirt that says that. Shit show from the get-go. It really has been. Now, if they gave him some kind of an exemption that was based on him coming and maybe testing before he was allowed to enter, or not leaving his room for 3 days or something like that, and he's just like, no, I don't want to do it, well then, I understand. It doesn't mean that the politicians, Australian or otherwise, aren't, in my opinion, most people who become politicians, from what I've seen, tend to be pricks or idiots. And what's so funny is that they talk about, oh, the rules have to apply to everybody, but the rules don't apply to them. Sydney heading to 50,000 cases, no lockdown. Omicron variant is all bullshit now. There you go. I don't doubt it. Look at this. Jesus criminy. 2 masks. Once is not enough. She was young and strong. Healthy. But once is not enough. No, you have to have 14 masks on. Whatever, to each his own, Listen, the whole mask thing now, to me, it's like, hey, it's like somebody who wants to be gay or bi or whatever they want to be. Up to you. I don't care. Same thing with the mask. I really don't care. Up to you. You want to wear it? Wear it. You want to wear 14 of them? Wear 14 of them. She's wearing 2. I'm like, I'm fairly certain that she's vaccinated. Very low death rate overall. Her where's your proof on that, JRD? That the immune system decomposes with non-stop jabs, sanitizer, and masks. Listen, there are some positives. I'm going to have to do a stream on the positives of this pandemic, because there are some positives. One of which is, like Maya Bay just opened up. And supposedly it's in a lot better shape now because they haven't been letting the tourism run rampant. And so the sea has had some time to rejuvenate. All right, and now they are open. So we are at 2 hours right now. Right now. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe the next stream I will do, maybe I'll start from Happy Land, I don't know. I got to think of where I could be because they don't open up until 10 o'clock. And most of you guys are, it takes you a while to get in. I don't know. I could start over there. Somewhere. The donut shop? That's deadly. I don't want to be in a donut shop. Don't they have a little guy? Don't in this day and age, they don't have a little emoji with a guy with a needle in his hand? So tomorrow is the big day here. Let me see. I like this one. I don't know what this is here. Wait a minute. Cafes and other places are having issues with staff. If you get Big O, they have to isolate for 5 days. They're actually telling people here that in the restaurants, the entire staff needs to test every single day. And where my wife works, I was surprised because she told me, she said, every time we go to the office, we have to take a test. And she said, what she said was that most of the people who go in, they just, they half-ass it. In other words, they do a phony test. They just kind of, you know, they don't go knuckle deep. They just fake it. And you know, I think that at this point they ought to just realize there's too many people who are like, listen, I'm already vaccinated, or I need to go to work. I need to make some money. Why am I going to shut down my restaurant that I worked so hard for, and I'm going to lose everything because of the government, who they're probably sitting around doing whatever the hell they want, and, you know, setting things up to where they can walk around without their mask, do whatever they want. I was really shocked because my mother had told me that it took her something like 5 months to get a dishwasher because they were out of dishwashers. There was a shortage of dishwashers and freezers. I'm like, how is there a shortage of dishwashers? You know, because the dishwasher went out. Now, it wasn't a big deal, but I mean, like, why are they running out of this stuff? You know why? It's because of this mess. And it's not the virus. It's not the virus. It's the policies. We gotta make that clear. It's not the actual cold, the actual flu. It's the policies set by the government. Food shortages here. Truck drivers with the okay. It's like the movie Look Up. In a crisis, no one knows what to do in this world of social media and ratings. It's more like a documentary on the current. Yeah. This is a perfect example of what the world is really like. It's a clusterfuck. What do you think I keep saying? I want to go out somewhere in the middle of frickin' nowhere. I'd rather be I wouldn't rather be in the Sahara Desert, but I'd rather be, you know, on some little isolated island. Like me and my wife went many years ago, where there's like 20 people on the whole island, and they're not anywhere around you unless you want to go to them, and they're all working in a restaurant. That time is gonna come. And you know, the thing is this has got me so irritated with these people and the government that, I mean, I'll never forget it. This only happens once in your lifetime, generally. You know, I mean, I've never been a part of a pandemic like this, but I won't forget it. What was the other one? There was another movie. It was like in Hong Kong or something, and it was Contagion. Man, that movie, you watch that movie, it's just like what's going on right now. I'm going to have to watch that movie because I asked my kids, and they're like, it's all right. So I want to watch it now. Usually DiCaprio's movies are pretty good. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the conclusion of another stream. It's time to say goodbye. I'm sorry I didn't make it to Happy Street, but I can't always just get up and go at a moment's notice when I got other responsibilities. But it will happen. It will happen. And one of the things I want to do is do the whole the electric boat thing. That'll be coming up soon. And who knows? I'm going to try to find some kind of other cool coffee shop like the one I was at yesterday. Need to see more places like that. So, anyway, that's all I have. Until next time, I am Scott. I am an American in Bangkok. Choke D, Leo Jerken Mai, Andy, Dowlow, everybody here, JRD, all you guys. Thanks, Joe. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. And hopefully I'll have a video up tomorrow morning. So keep your eyes open for it. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. All right? Choke B and all that good stuff.